Hello, I decided to record another money run example. I've done quite a few of these now, like quite a few dozen, and I feel like I've learned some things. And I've also got a mall. So yeah, as before, the goal is get consistent clears, no deaths, and as many points per hour as possible. I've also stopped pre-potting a stamina in the chugging barrel. It's not really necessary at all. Okay, put them all in aggressive. Enter on 0. Roll, maul. Then we maul an accurate. Scythe should also be an accurate. Stepping away like that on the last hit, after the last hit to drag is very important. Gives you another side swing. Attack on the first tick as usual. Okay, so I'm doing some weird stuff right now at Tekton, but it's fine. Equip the pickaxe and offhand, sip and drop the enhance. I've stopped tanking that orb. I'd rather have the 30 HP, or whatever, however much it is. Tag 2, move, take the third, then start stunning. Stun here. Grab our crab. Make sure this is actually colored. We stun here and we grab the pot and then we leave. This method I found is really chill. It is slightly slower than Tekken Orb, of course, but yeah, as I said, it's about 2 brew doses you lose, which I found more valuable than the couple seconds time save. Drop 3 potions, grab the axe. You want to start dropping like this. This is just the optimal way of moving towards the front, in case you roll really high. Apologies if you can hear my cat meowing in the background. Move to the front at 28, when we're close to 28. And we're stacking 4 stacks plus 20, which is the best points per hour. Sorting my inventory, maul first, then kindling, then the ZGS, or the claws, doesn't matter. Move to the last one at 20. Can get up to 8 in one chop, so that's why. Start chopping and then move. Okay, and now we're putting 2 brews here, so we can quickly deposit these 6 items. And we get there. Obviously you want to react quickly to the tree falling. Not like I did there, but it's fine. Okay, third stack. Now we're start lighting braziers. We're looking for 12 kindling to move to the next tree. We're looking for 20. $19 is fine. Equip the maul, equip the claws, I should say. Put maul in first and then the other 5 items. This makes it easier later with the ordering. Wanna grab your pots as quickly as possible. Run to the front and overload. Roll on death charge. Just keep specking the boss like this. This is faster than Emberlight on average, but only with the search pot. This is the method you would also do with Emberlight. Saving run energy is nice. Okay, so now we equip our range gear. Can take off the helmet for the max accuracy. Neutral. Added these tile markers. So you just move between those for dodging the poison splat attacks. This makes it a bit easier if you have these tile markers, so you avoid jumps. And you of course save run energy. Raid's Death Indicator plugin shows you when it's about to die. Make sure you death charge these shamans. We have to sip a restore here. You can obviously leave the restore and just sip the enhance, and that will be fine. But I just prefer to have it a bit more chill. You will have to flick if you do that. So now we're brewing to full. Restoring, sorting the inventory a bit. Put the scythe on aggressive. Equip the mage gear. Put the mage gear on long range, the shadow on long range. Now we run in here. Thralls are optional, I like them though. Okay, we hit nothing, so we just go for another one. And then we T-bow the Major, you can do it on accurate if you want. Then we run in already, ready to claw spec the melee. Below 60 I like to go for the second claw. That was a bit of a risky T-bow, but it worked out. T-bow can hit above 80. Sometimes you gotta take chances here, in my opinion. Because a low chance of resetting is often better than... Like, if it's really low chance of resetting, it's often better than sitting on, like, high HP. Okay, we go on the Ranger again. I like to hit it up until it's below 70. Most important is to not lose ticks, even if you only do partial switches. Okay, now the Major, on the melee. So now we can kill them all. We don't have to worry about the HP anymore. I think it's still nice to hit the Major towards the end of the rotation after you do a couple of other hits. Just save you some HP. Don't step out if you do pre-melee, obviously. Okay. Ideally you kill the melee last, if possible. Make sure you don't forget to death charge. Sip your restore. We are bringing the Twisted. Okay. We need space for the grubs, so we're sipping and dropping the Enhance. We want the Twisted for Tightrope, because we're killing Tightrope. I found it helps with saving brews and being more consistent. Obviously, you can opt to skip Tightrope instead if you want. I don't think it's that much worse in terms of points per hour. So now we thieve 4 chests when entering, and then we just thieve in sets of 3 until we hit 27 or more. And then we overthieve to 39. We're already in our mage gear, which is good. We can also already start sorting for the deposit of items that we will do. 27. So we want to deposit here the claws and 2 brews and a restore. So now we're going for 39. Just extra points. Grip the shadow. Can put sort our inventory already, so we have the ZCB ready to go. Okay, so now we run through. I like to overload about here. I like to Vigger after this guy. So now we run in with ZCB spec. Can hit Vesprilla up to 2 times between running into the portal. Extra points, and we want to get it to about 60%. Don't want to get it lower because it can down itself and then poison you. Could also pre-pot an anti-venom plus, and then you will have anti-poison here still, so you can hit it even lower then. I think it's worth as an iron though. They are quite annoying to farm. Just always when the plugin says 1 on the enhance, I'm going in. Can get a free heal right here. By stepping under. Okay. So now we keep going. Run through the northern tile like this. Saves 1 tick. Now we should brew as much as possible before Tightrope. Restore. Twisted. So, always brew in 25s if you can. If you're not full HP. Staying potted is the biggest contributor here, in my opinion, to not losing excessive brews. Okay, I sipped it too late, so I'm sipping the Twisted now. Grab the helmet for some defense. And then we flick our melee gear. Can sip here. This is very RNG. Sometimes they're humble, sometimes they're not. Preemptively sipping a brew here. Immediately using the Twisted though. You have to sip here. Below about 40 you have to sip. Sip as after you attack, so you tick eat. and then twist back up. Just gotta be careful because the tick delay turns out to 6 ticks, so if you brew and twist it, you can't instantly attack again because it will be on cooldown, so you can't tick it. I have died to that. Okay, so we want more than 2 brews here, which we have. So now all we need is our 3 items for the 3rd floor. Pickaxe, Defender, and ZGS. Hit this pool. Since I'm using Vigger instead of Staminas, every pool basically translates to a prayer saved. And yeah, now we keep going. Doing Guardians like normal. I like to pray melee here. Because we have enough prayer. And sometimes these guys are unhumble and start to whack you with melee hits. And they can hit pretty hard if you're unlucky. So now, since the overload is running out soon, my goal is to be sitting around 50 HP. Sprue on 25 tick intervals, or 15 seconds. I'm not sure which plugin the timer and ticks is from, but I'm sure you can figure it out. I think it's one of the Cox plugins. Cox editions. Not quite sure though. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. I prefer this pattern for the second Guardian, just so I'm at the door quicker. It works exactly the same as the usual pattern, but being at the door in 1 tick makes it so you have more leeway to not be late on the Vasa entry, because you want to enter Vasa on the first possible tick. It's very important. I thought that was it. So I equip the scythe here, just to keep the switches clean. Then we equip the ZCB. Thrall at the end and turn around instantly. As soon as you hit the red tile, you can click to where the fire will spawn. And we just T-bow. You always get the same amount of T-bow shots here. You don't get another one here, because you lose 1 tick on entry with the ZCB start. The ZCB start is still better though. Okay, now I'm gonna death charge. Ruin 25s. Just to make it less likely that we fuck up somehow and die. Obviously do your best to dodge these as well as you can. All the damage you take is basically less brew for Ohm. I think I can get one more off here. No, I can't. Okay. It's fine though. Okay, oh, we should kill it now. Moving in close for the final shots. Sipping the brew, we want 3 slots here. Get the brews and get that twisted. Okay. Keep running. Restore. So we're fully brewed and potted for Mystics. Like to hit this pool here. Sometimes you don't have to, but if I'm below like 50 run, I hit it. Make sure you death charge again. Okay. Drag this guy here. So make sure you're fully potted as fully brewed up as you enter Matadals. So we want to brew in 15s as much as possible. It's a very unhumble Mystics, by the way. You should not double death charge again here as I did, but it's fine. You should wait until you after Mystics. Okay. Step under. Use this. When I'm below 65, I go for the ZGS. And above, I go for another shadow. Found this the best consistent balance between killing it before it unfreezes and not. Okay, we get like 6 shadows here. So I'm getting ready to re-ZGS. I didn't have to this time, which is nice. On the both items from that guy. Death charge set spot here. Get ready to re-ZGS. Should have gone for the ZGS earlier here, not gone for another T-bow because I had 2. But we didn't miss, so it's fine. Not brewing here because, you know, obviously Overlord is about to run out. Moving close. So you kill it quickly, can sometimes make the difference. Grab the brew and restore. Okay, now we want to chug brews. We want to enter it at full HP. Want 1 full restore after inventory. Drop the twisted. Hit that pool. Range gear up here. The items you want to deposit down there. Equip the ZCB and offhand. Get into Mage gear. ZCB. Now we deposit these 3 items. We grab all this. Can get the claws here as well, I suppose. Okay. Get them all ready. Show you. Put it on accurate. And now we start shadow running. We're entering with 5 brews here, which is not ideal because our Mystics was terrible. So we want to be extra sure to brew in 15 so our DPS is maximized and not make mistakes. Yeah, that was a mistake. It's fine though. Never punished. Already getting my melee switch ready. When I can. Any hit now could kill it. So I want to be ready. 1 more. Okay. Want to run. I prefer running to the middle and then so we get a consistent start here. Okay. We had cycle because we got 1 auto attack and that's all. So now we just run off the poison. Camping Prey Mage is the best for Omen and Oathblade. Run around this poison here. Really gotta try and waste as little supplies as possible if you're entering with 5 brews. Often 5 brews are more than enough, but sometimes Ohm can really be very mean and just murder you anyways. Okay. We have spec for the next phase, so gonna get them all ready. Start the Mage Thrall. It's also the reason I'm opting to do a 3-to-1 Scythe instead of World Scythe. Obviously, World Scythe, so melee camping at the Scythe at the hand is better DPS, but I found that it just sometimes it's just not consistent. And there's nothing worse for your points per hour if you die at Ohm. Okay, running the boss. Oh, we're not gonna brew up again here, unless we get hit really low, because it's 1 minute on our overload. Melee gear for tanking, it's helpful. Obviously try to walk as much as possible, because we're not using a stamina. Okay, now I'm doing some weird shit that was supposed to be the long range hit. It's fine. We missed the maul. So we're gonna maul again. It's worth mauling again. Okay, now we're getting ready to... Okay, interesting. Okay, 2 autos, so we need to do a 2-to-1. Still doing the 2-to-1. We placed the flame wall too close, so couldn't step out in time. That's fine. Can't flame wall back to back instantly. So what I like to do is, whenever I get a flame wall, for the next 2 cycles, I'm not sure what the exact timing is, I should probably look that up. But for the next 2 cycles, I just don't bother setting up the flame wall. Okay, I was 1 tick late, that's fine. Should have just reset there. The ego did. Okay, so now I'm just gonna reset. Just killing the boss here. Okay. Yeah, you really want to avoid doing shenanigans like that at home. Now I'm just brewing to full, just to be safe. I have really high prayer, which I don't want, because that means it gets drained more. I can't... on this one, I don't have a hammer, so I have to start like this. Just start on 2. It's not supposed to be a long range hit. Okay, just trying to get into cycle again. Losing a couple ticks is fine. Okay, need to maul again. Getting ready to melee, okay. We missed, it's fine. Okay. So we get 2 more autos here. Then we skip a tile. Should probably null the flame wall while they're doing that, but didn't bother. So you can see him brute down quite a lot, which really makes me take more damage in return. Which is quite bad. Except the Source Prot if you have it. Camping Prey Mage is better. I don't know if I already said that. Okay. That was annoying. Okay. Okay, so we're not getting our bearings back. Absolutely critical that you ruin 15s during head phase. But don't be afraid to triple brew if needed. Default prayer for health phase is also Mage Prayer, even though you're in Masori. But it doesn't really matter. Otherwise you just pray whatever his last attack was. Sometimes I just forget. And that's pretty much it. Yeah. Pretty average run. Small shenanigans at home, so... Or yeah, that's... I'm like... Good runs are probably like... sub 30s. And... Like average runs are between like 30 minutes, 30 seconds and 30 seconds, something like that. And yeah, that's it. Bye.